is your name?
My name is Jimmerson.
When and where were you born?
I was born in Dallas, Texas.
What was the best childhood memory you can remember?
I can't think of one right now. The best childhood memory. What was yours?
Well, I was just playing outside with my friends on like every day.
Um, I don't have any best childhood memories right now. Not all of us was blessed to have great childhoods.
When you was in school, was your group of friends all of the same race, or was there a mixture?
From kindergarten all the way up to eighth grade, same race. From ninth to 12th grade, different
It was
race.
diverse.
Yes. So I was exposed to a little diversity in high school. And then went back to being around what I know best, black people.
What do you know about the Jim Crow laws?
Oh, it's been a long time since I heard about them Jim Crow laws. I can't recall right now. You caught me off guard with that one.
Um, who would you say had the most impact in your life successful? Like who's one person you could think of that had an impact on your life that made you more successful?
Well, my parents. Just looking at my parents' failures and successes in life, you kind of they're like our role models, and so it's kind of like, all right, I want to learn this from my dad. I'll take this from my dad. I don't want to take this from my mom. I want to take this from my dad. So it's just looking at their errors in life and making sure I don't follow those same errors. And when they're successful, how were they able to become successful?
Have you ever attended an HBCUs college?
Yep, I've been here since I graduated with my undergrad degree. That's why I say I went black, went to mixed, then back black.
Yes, ma'am.
The only disadvantage of that is I don't have any of friends of other races due to me being at HBCU all these years. And I don't even blame it on HBCU, but at the same time, like once you just around the
Around
same
so many
race,
people.
yeah.
Who was your favorite civil rights activist and why?
Civil rights activists. Oh, I had a lot of civil rights activists that I really did admire. It's not exactly one, but I'm going to say it's different. It's really different. People might say like Martin Luther King or I really don't know if he was an activist or not. Huey P. Newton. I really did like him. Um, he also stood for equality as well, but his methods were a little bit different. They were, but I did like him. It's like all of them stood up for something. They was go fight for what was right, and he was one of those that did fight for what was right.
Have you ever been a victim of any racist activity?
Yeah. I really experienced a lot of them here in Houston. I'm not from here, like I said earlier, but Washington Street. If you ever go out on Washington Street, you hear about them racial profiling. And I heard about it a few times, but then I actually went down there and I experienced it. And what happened was, I was with a group of guys. It was probably about 6 of us, and I was the only girl. I was behind all the other guys. So the guy let all those guys in and then stopped at me. And he was really questioning my license. He was saying that I didn't look like the person on the picture. And he started asking me like what was my date of birth and what was my zip code, and that really did bother me. Because I just felt like, well, maybe it was all these big group of blacks just came in prior to me. Maybe that was their limit, just you never know. So I got with that, and then shopping in high-end stores. They see a young black girl in high-end
So that
stores.
she's
You
stealing
know.
and things like that.
Yes.
Um, do you think do you think attending the HBU school had an impact on your life?
It,
It made you feel some type of way differently about things?
well, you know what? Attending HBCU school, it has its advantages, well, I would say here at TSU. I can't speak for any of the
Yes,
HBCUs,
ma'am.
but it was more of an intimate setting here versus going to a traditional white school, and everyone around you, depending on your group of individuals you select to hang out with, it kind of helps you grow,
Girl, like as you said.
and um, not only grow, but like challenge yourself. So if you're doing really well and you're making great grades, you have internships, you're very actively involved in the school and outside of school, then that pushes me and motivates me to do the same thing. And it's always good to see other people of the same race that's one have a desire to do more and have that drive to be better.
Yes, ma'am. I feel like it had impacted me. It made me look at it made me look at Black history more differently now. Like there was a lot of things I learned that wasn't really taught when I was in high school. There was a lot of things that a lot of Black people that did a lot of things that wasn't mentioned when I was in school, and that I had no clue about if I never came to a HBCU school. So it had it changed. Well, it was little, but at the same time, it just made me appreciate that more that I'm a Black and I'm
Yeah,
support.
definitely. I had okay. Not no, but yeah, I going to HBCU school, but not we may not always be exposed to our own history. If you're taking history class, we have a lot of a museum, um, and we may have teachers who will go outside the curriculum to educate us more. That's not in the book, so that's really good. And it is unfortunate that schools don't show
The
the
true,
whole
the whole story.
exactly. And it's much different from when I was in school. I was fortunate to, and my teacher was white, but he in 10th grade, I forgot what history that was, U.S. history or whatever, but he really just like talked about it and expounded about the Black history, which was very surprising. And then too, when I was in school, Black History Month was like really, really big. From the time I was in kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade, and now it's not recognized as it used to be. And Black history in schools is fairly extinct. But then I think about it, who's the authors behind?
White.
Yeah. And not only that, like you said, they're not going to tell the whole truth, and they're not going to give recognition because a lot of people think white people are inventors or a lot of stuff, but they're not. They've just taken the credit.
Yeah, there's a lot.
They have really taken the credit of a lot of inventions, and it's pretty sad for me not to know a lot of my Black history like I used to, because I used to know a lot of that younger, but yeah, get older, have to learn other things and kind of push that type of stuff to the side. But I'm still appreciative because I know learning the history, it makes you appreciate where we come from.
Yes,
And not no activist or anything like that, but I always want my people to do better,
Yes,
be successful, not be part of the criminal system, because that's where we're being hurt at, and not able to have a fair life because the odds are really just stacked against us just because of our color alone.
How do you feel about slavery? Like,
From what I've learned, slavery was horrible. Slavery was inhumane to society, especially to us. And then it really bothers me when white people, the whole thing about Black Life Matters, blacks always been mistreated, and then the people who are being interviewed always like white people always be like, I understand the problem, things are not what they used to be, and it's like, do you know what they did back in the day? Slavery was horrible. I mean, it was just, you get beat, you get raped, you had to work in all kind of conditions, and it was just like no heart, no soul. They didn't care.
people was torn from their family. They never seen their wife. I remember I read this one article about a man. He had got ripped from his family, from his wife and kids, and then when slavery ended, he ended up finding his wife, but he married another woman already. So then it was probably all from knowing that his wife was still alive, because he probably thought she was dead,
Right.
and his kids and things like that.
And not only that, I mean, probably was forced to be taken away from his family, or it's just, or if the husband tried to take up other wives, then they would get killed for it. So it was just really, really horrible. And I don't know if I should say this on camera. I mean, not all white people are bad. You have some who are for us, who want equal rights, but just thinking about slavery and how they still mistreat blacks to this day, it kind of like make me a little bit not like white people.
How do you feel about the word nigga?
Okay. So the crazy thing about it, when I was young, I didn't never use the word nigga, and sometimes I catch myself like when I'm talking noise saying nigga. But overall, they say it's nigger than nigga. Well, it's both bad for us to use, and when we use it, then other races hear us use it and think it's okay for them to use it, and then when we get mad at them, then it's like, well, they say it all the time. It's like they're degrading themselves, so it should not even be used at all. And I remember I was at the movies behind a group of Hispanic kids, and they was calling each other niggas, and I turned around and looked, and they're like, I'm sorry, but it's like, do y'all even know what that means?
Yeah,
Why are you just using it just to say it as part of your vocabulary? I just don't like the word. It should be removed from everybody's vocabulary. And if whites, Hispanics, other races aren't allowed to use it, then what makes us think we can use it within our own race?
that's all the question.
Okay. Well, good luck.